So second round it was Java concepts and LLD. So since I was interviewing for 3+ years of experience bracket, so it was assumed that I should be knowing Java concepts thoroughly. There should be no this and that in that. Okay, since I am now doing this Java from last 3 years, so I should have that much of expertise level. So, yeah, that was the understanding from the interviewer. So it was a pretty much rapid fire round. So he started off with the OOPS concept directly, and in between there were certain questions like what is method, can we overload a static method or not? Can we overload a main method or not? If we have abstract classes, then why do we need the concept of interfaces? So all such questions were there in between. Um, yeah, and then he went to exceptions. He started off with very basic what are checked, unchecked exceptions, give examples of each, what are errors, can errors be handled as the checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions can be, and what is the difference between throws, throw keywords, and why will you use throws keyword in your code? The use case of it, whether you knew the implementation or it's just the definitions and you have marked it up. So that was what he was trying to understand. And he asked me about the diamond problem, that is interface, the multiple inheritance issue in Java, right? So that is what he was trying to understand. And then he asked me to open an editor and create a hash map, add certain values to it, some key values. And then he asked me to sort the hash map uh, first. That was the first question. So I did that. Then he asked me to sort it in descending order. So I did even that. So since he was okay with that, then he moved to solid principles. He asked me whether you knew about solid principles. So I explained him what is solid principles. And he asked me what is interface segregation principle. So I gave him the answer, but he was not very well satisfied with it. Uh, so I told him I'm still in my learning phase about the LLT. I'm not very, perfect in it. I told him. So then he told me like what version of Java you use and what is your favorite feature. So in the favorite feature, I told him about default methods, right? So he told that he asked me that whether since interfaces solves the problem of multiple inheritance. So if we have default methods in two interfaces with same method name and method signature, how is the diamond problem tackled over there? That was his question. I did not know the answer to it, so I said I don't know. Then he asked me like in what scenario will you override hash code an equals method. Again, I had no clue to it, so I said I don't know. And then he went on to he gave me few classes and told me you have to print these set of combinations. So I knew whenever there are combinations, you have to apply decorator patterns. So he was looking into the fact how I was able to come up with classes, which how will I be able to make the interfaces. And in between, he also told me never to use the object uh, class at all. So that was one of the constraint he gave. Okay. That he wanted an implemented solution and to run it whatever the output he was expecting. So this was the round two. Hiring manager round. Again, it started off with the introduction. Then, what are the tech stacks? What team are you contributing? How big is your team? And are there any other responsibilities that you're taking or not? So, all such questions were there. And then he further started asking related to HTTP methods and Spring Boot related questions. After that, there were behavioral level questions, and I underestimated behavioral level questions, which is the reason why I screwed up my hiring manager round. And So there were few of these behavioral questions which I've added over here, like what you do daily to improve yourself. Why did you leave your previous company? What is the greatest problem you have solved and you're proud of it? And then how long should an employee should work in an organization so that he actually starts making a difference? So it I started stuttering. I did not know how to answer it very well. I thought I would be able to do it, but it did not go well. And then the further questions further, demotivated me because I did not know the answer of it. For example, he further asked me about optimistic locking and pessimistic locking, and I said I don't know. Then he asked me to do the HLD of WhatsApp application. HLD was one aspect of which I wasn't at all confident. I did not expect they would ask me HLD, but they did ask me. And mm, I did not know a lot of things. I realized during the interview process. Somehow I tried to managed up to make few boxes, but yeah, he wasn't satisfied. He was disappointed, to be very honest. But yeah, that was the HLD round, and um, then he asked me, why are you leaving your current organization? So yeah, that was all the overall hiring manager round. And I asked him to give me the feedback, and he told me that you need to know uh, uh, the applications of um, whatever you're building, and you have to think through how you're going to build it. You need to think from the system point of view. So basically, he was trying to tell me to work on the HLD part. So I understood it, and I knew uh, really performed bad in that. And plus, some of the behavioral questions also, I screwed it up. So yeah, I knew that I had to work on this. So, my key takeaways from this entire interview process was never estimate your behavioral level questions. It is important. You should work on it as you work on your DSA rounds and for your HLD and your LLD rounds. So, one of the important key takeaway for me was this from this entire interview process. Also, the other important key takeaway was if you are from 4+ years of experience of bracket, you cannot have that lethargic attitude, that it's okay if I don't know this. No, you need to know it because now you're into the expertise level. So you should be knowing the nitties and gritties of everything, whatever you're working on. So that was one of the most important learning, because I think while I was a fresher when I interviewed, even if I knew, if I didn't know certain things, the interview was okay because I was in 1 to 3 years of experience bracket. But when you are in 4+ experience of bracket, nobody will understand that, and you have to level up your game. That was one of the most important learning I understood. And of course, never forget your fundamentals, what you understood, what you did in your college. Keep practicing it even if you're 5 to 6 years of experience level. That was one of the most important learning that I got from this entire all 3 rounds of the Walmart. I hope this was helpful to you guys to understand. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any other questions. Bye bye.